So it's day one of my tour in America. I'm here in New York and just recovering from a very long flight. Came via Los Angeles and then changed planes and flew into John F. Kennedy Airport in New York, and now I'm here in my friend's apartment, just waiting to go and start the day with master classes at Purchase Conservatory and at the Juilliard School of Music. Good day, and still looking forward to seeing Ray Mace at Juilliard and catching up with Don Johnson and hopefully some new friends today as well. Hi there, this is the second stop on our tour of America. We're at Yale University, which is just there behind me, and we're going to meet with Alan Dean, the trumpet professor here, and give a master class for all the trumpet students here, or any of the other brass people that want to come along. And we're looking forward to it, and yeah, I think it's the sun's finally come out, so it's looking like it's going to be another good day.
He's very knowledgeable. He's sort of shepherding the genre around the country and making sure he doesn't get lost. Get him on the right car, the right train, the right plane, whatever. So that's very nice. I appreciate it. And it's great to have you here. And trombone, good to have two people from a couple ends of the spectrum here. So.
Your chosen work.
Playing the overture to Handel's Water Music, so hopefully it sounds somewhat familiar. I'll do my best. Yeah.
I mean, you can't just hit the downbeat, and it's not wrong. It's just not as exciting. That's one point where you can just let the sound flare out and really show them.
Yeah, okay.
It's like that. Okay, so we can't suddenly start trilling from the bottom note when we've trilled from the top note every other time.
Okay.
The trumpet is the soloist.
Yeah. Of course.
It's not an orchestral piece. It's a trumpet overture.
Cool. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Right, man.
Thank you so much.
this because he writes da 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 da. So I think the way that we get to these bars, I think that D is the retrograde of da dee.
Oh, okay.
So I would slur it the same way. Okay, it's just.
So then the question, I guess, is where is this building block for building the not pressured way of playing the clarinet register?
Well, funnily enough, it's in my book, available at all.
I'm here at a very good price.
It's literally, I mean, it's like anything. You can practice Chikowitz is a great way of doing it. Those just expanding exercises that he does. Schlossberg, it's all the good things, you know, that go into the higher register. It's about, you know, supporting how you control the air and approaching a high C much more with a much more related way you approach a low C, the way you flow the air. Okay. Pierre Thibault does some very good, did some very good exercises talking about double pedals and in this sort of register or whatever. So rather than, if we think of the low C as being the buzz being a pitch, okay, he's thinking that low C should be buzzed like. So when I'm thinking of that low C, I'm thinking of that double pedal. Which means the top C I'm thinking.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
Which means, you know. You can, it's like he opens a fresh page and you can just paint whatever you want on it. I'd rather hear someone going too far than not far enough. And as I said, that was Sonata for Two Trumpets in D by Petronio Franceschini, which was quite typical of the type of works being performed in the Bolognese region in Italy during the late part of the 17th century. And of course, in those times, trumpet players were held in the highest esteem of all musicians, which unfortunately isn't quite how it is these days, but damn well should be. And trumpeters enjoyed incredible privilege and, of course, the most money, and actually almost mixed in the circles of aristocracy, and contributed to the political wealth and might and power of any court or any principality during Europe in the 17th and 18th centuries. I'm going to move forward a little bit now, probably about 80 years. some playing today, and looking forward to hearing whoever else wants to play for me today. But really, I'd just like to talk a little bit about the history of the trumpet, because I think perhaps that's a little sonata beginning by Fantini, and as you can hear, it's got not only a very kind of fluid, relaxed kind of connection between the notes, there's also the use of what they call trillo, which was the type of trills that were used at the time. It's basically an ornament on the same note, or what they refer to later as the beating huff, which is essentially a rhythmic figure created by the chest and the upper body and the voice, the throat. And what you want to basically do with that is whatever rhythm you start with, it just keeps dividing by half. Until the next note. And if you hear great Renaissance singing and things like that, it came out of that tradition. And they were essentially just moving what a singer would do there to what we do here. Tell us what's going on, Jason.
Well, I'm trying to drive and not wreck this car with 5 Baroque trumpet players in it on our way to our rehearsal at 2 o'clock in Lebanon, Kentucky.
Hey guys, name, rank, and serial number.
Rob Elliott, and I don't have a rank.
I'm Morgan Bay. Connor Kimmin.
What's it like studying at UK?
That's a lot of fun.
It's not just because Jason's in the car now. Tell me where we are, Don.
Cincinnati.
Sunny Cincinnati.
Going to the Conservatory of Music to give a master class with Alan. Really looking forward to it.
Do you know what that building is with the big dome on top?
Oh, no, I don't. We're getting ready to cross the river again.
And which river is it?
This would be the Ohio.
Ohio River, okay. Oh yeah. That's cool.
ago, I had we've been very fortunate to have a lot of artists come through town. And a number of years ago, Dr. Gresham here, he's retired from NKU, brought in Nicholas Eckling and John Foster for recital at the Basilica. You guys have all, but most of you have been in the Basilica, they're coming in. And it was just a spectacular event. Well, Mr. Foster has given up his job in the Sydney Symphony Orchestra to focus on a lot of things, including the Baroque Trumpet. And I think you'll understand why when you hear him play. But Ian and he. So please give them a warm welcome.
Just imagine it without the flare, just so it's basically a cone, but roughly maybe so long, okay? And if we look to like the Egyptian civilization, maybe as much as 5,000 BC, they refer to hearing these trumpets being played off in the distance and to having it resemble that of a braying donkey. And of course, if you think of a donkey, you know, this length of tubing generally, you know, produced about 2 notes. Okay, so you can imagine that sound travelling over quite a distance, and to them they perceived it somewhat like an ass. From there, through the Bronze Age into you know, experts are devising is that on the key trumpet you could actually use an alternate key to play the same note. And so I've heard recordings now at the start of the second movement of Hummel where they'll have this effect. Which is interesting, you know, it's not a vibrato, it's not a thing, and that's certainly what Ed's talking about there. But that's a key thing. So my way of thinking in that piece, if you've just had a recent sort of invention in trying to perfect a chromaticized trumpet, the first thing I would be doing is pointing out the fact that it's this new chromatic instrument, and that the interesting part is for the first time ever we can play these semitones perfectly. So to me, why would it not make sense that it should be a trill to the semitone? And I think I've had the original Hummel manuscript in my hands a few times, and he reads TR with a little wavy line. Now that wavy line over that note is more or less exactly the same as every other wavy line. I think he's just really forgotten to write TR. And I think it's just been overthought a lot. So I had this instrument and it was new, and I could shock a Viennese audience by going, the other thing I'll say, which is interesting, and you see the way how idiomatically that piece is written for this instrument, is if you look at the first couple of phrases, it's all one key. So I think straight away, I want to soften the articulation a bit. I want to have the right relationships in the rhythmic hierarchy. So whatever the fast notes are, they're the long notes. The next denomination being the eighth notes, I want to be light and bouncy, like little violin bow strokes. Trying to phrase and use the strong beats and use the energy in a way that's examples, Baroque repertoire. I'm not going for just trying to get the same kind of shape in the tonguing and the phrasing.
Mr. Foster.
Thank you very much. So we need some names. Well, Warren and Matt. Hi, Christian. Hi.
Blake Aaron.
Blake. Hi.
Trevor.
Trevor.
Clinton.
Big Matt. Now it's a stylistic thing. I need to lift off that first note. Bum, ba da da dum. Lifting off the first quaver, lengthening through the next three, and they arrive into the next quaver. Dum, da 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 dum. Here we go. That's it. What does that remind you of? Facial movement, okay, because it all happens internally. When you see people sometimes trill on Baroque trumpet, you'll see a lot of this. I don't know how they do it, but that's really, as soon as I hear someone doing that, I can straight away, without looking at them, I can hear the way the trill sounds, and I'll know what they're doing wrong. And a lot of the time, if there's a lot of movement here, you can still be moving your tongue, but the two kind of almost counteract each other. They can get out of the way of each other, so then you still don't get a smooth, easy trill. We don't want that. Then I'll take, say, maybe a very much like a Clark approach to some arpeggiotic studies, like we find in the Dalmanet book. Just simple things like Zen, not letting any manipulation come into it, and just trying to blow right down the middle so that the muscles get used to forming around a straight airflow. And then my tongue can just waggle a little bit to help direct the pitch. Okay? Once again, I sit in front of the mirror sometimes and I just focus on this staying quite still. And funnily enough, whenever things have gone a little bit left or right of centre in my playing, I'll start noticing if I see myself playing in a mirror or something like that, it's usually that this is doing something, compensating too much.
Now, Johnny, if you do that, like, do you warm up on it? Is this what you warm up
Yeah.
first?
Yeah.
Every day?
Every day. And I do it all the way up. So as high as I can do freely.
Then when you add your monitor, do you add monitor in later?
Once I do this and all the stuff I'll show you, I mean, I can just pick up a modern trumpet and it feels so easy. Depends if, you know, if I got to play in the orchestra or I had to go and do Mile 5, I'd probably just pick up a modern trumpet and do all this different stuff on that. But the approach is the same.
Okay.
You know, trying to play in a flowing way. Anyway, so from there, I work on expanding the flow settings, and it's kind of like a Chickawitz style approach, just going in and out of the harmonics and expanding the range, but keeping the same basic idea that as I go higher, I don't try harder. I just connect and flow. Stepwise motion, well, just keeping the flow going all the time. What we call the trumpet concerto in D. So I'm just going to play one of the movements that were written for the trumpet, and this is from 1762, right at the end, in the start of the serious decline of the instrument, where they had to write very high parts for the trumpet in order to try and keep it relevant and interesting as a solo instrument. So they achieved this by writing higher and higher parts to utilize the clarino register. Okay.